My name is Amy Hevron. I'm the author-illustrator of Log Life. This is a story about a nurse log habitat, and if you don't know what that is, it is when a tree falls in the forest. It's the habitat of all the little creatures that live on it. And so today I'm going to read you Log Life. Log Life. Once there stood a giant fir tree that stretched to the sun. One stormy day, a great gust came. The tree creaked and cracked and collapsed. When the storm passed, the sun shined down through an opening in the canopy, and the tree's new life as a nurse log began. Spring, year one. And then these little guys are saying, if a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound? Yes, yes it does. Fungi were the first to arrive. They feasted on the damp wood. Yum! They invited their lichen friends, who invited their liverwort friends, who invited their hornwort friends, who invited their chicken mushroom friends. It was a big mushroomy party. Hooray! Soon beetles moved in. I'll lay some larvae here. Me two, me three. And carpenter ants arrived, which brought nuthatches and warblers and knock knock, a woodpecker. One day a squirrel bounded in. Bark, bark, bark. He chowed down on fern cones. Seeds scattered everywhere, and some found homes in cracks and crannies. Plop! Before long, a new fir tree sprouted and stretched to the sun. Ooh. On dry days, the nurse log was a soggy shelter to all kinds of critters. Summer, year 10. Snails vacate in the decay. Voles nibbled on seeds in the shade. Salamanders slithered into the hollows. Tree frogs cooled down in the dark dens. Can you believe this heat? I cannot. Meanwhile, the young fir tree clung on and waited for rain. On rainy days, the nurse log became a beautiful tapestry of fancy fern fronds, munching banana slugs, and shimmering slime molds. Autumn, year 100. Sometimes big critters would visit. Hoo, 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 an owl hide. Sometimes the nurse log helped the little critters hide away. Meanwhile, the fir tree grew tall with roots that stretched over the nurse log. On cold days, everyone cuddled inside the nurse log. Everyone's snoring here. Winter, year 500. Squirrels dozed in its dark dens. Martins slept in its mossy hollows. A cougar snoozed in its cozy crevices. Nuthatches nested in its warm nooks. Make room for me, I'm coming in. Meanwhile, the fir tree soared above on stilt-like roots that now stretched over the nurse log all the way to the forest floor. Over time, the nurse log's soggy shelters and mossy hollows have disappeared. Spring, year 1000. And in its place now, a giant fir tree stands and stretches to the sun. Would you look at that? Until one stormy day, a great gust will catch the giant fir. It will creak and crack and collapse. And nurse log life will begin once again. The end. Thank you so much for joining me for a reading of Log Life.